Call the meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Can we have a roll call?
Wonder Gem.
Here.
Hybor.
Here.
Dahan.
Here.
Guardian. Here. Vanek. Here. Steffes.
Here.
Campbell. Here. All present.
All right, thank you very much. As a courtesy to the members of the audience, the Board of Education, please silence your cell phone. Public will only be able to speak during public comment if signed up. Do we have any, Mr. Merkel? Yeah. All right, thank you very much. First item, approval of the agenda. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Support.
All those in favor? Yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion passes. Second item, East Elementary presentation is on the list. They cannot make it tonight, so they will come back at a later date and do their presentation at that point. So we will reschedule them when they are available. Item number 3, consent action agenda. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
All those in favor? Yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion passes. Regular action agenda 4A, 31AA opt-in resolution. It is recommended the Board of Education adopt the 31AA opt-in resolution subject to rescission as written with the advice from True Law Firm for our school council. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Sure. So this is where we're at now. As you can see with this resolution, it was decided that that both sides agreed instead of having going through the injunction and so on process through the courts, that they would allow for an opt-in resolution that gave you the opportunity later on to rescind should the district want to do that. This case is being heard both at the state level and the federal level, so there really are two different cases there, and both have agreed, both benches have agreed that they will have a decision no later than the end of the day, December 19th. So by doing this, it gives people the opportunity to opt in at this time before the date that's coming up, December 4. And then should, if either the state or the federal determines that this is unconstitutional, then we don't have, as a district, don't have to do anything. We're already in. If neither the state or the federal side in our favor, then this will be rescinded, may be rescinded, should we choose to have it rescinded. So that's where we're at. I'm hearing a lot of positive. I think they're going to be able to work through this. I think we'll have a decision that'll be in our favor. I think if it's, there aren't witnesses or anything, so it's just, is it unconstitutional or isn't it? It should be pretty easy for both the state and the federal to make a determination. And because they don't have to go through that lengthy process. I'm also hearing that the state won't appeal if it doesn't work out in their favor. So a lot of good signs, I think, involved in it. I'm glad that they were able to understand that we were in a very tough position as school districts, under a time crunch. And so this helps us kick that can down the road for a little while this is figured out. So, any questions?
So there will not even be arguments on both sides by lawyers?
They have attorneys, and they have, as always, they state their position, but they won't have to call anybody or anything like that. It's really, is it constitutional or unconstitutional or not?
So the state of Michigan is, I don't know, if is it the governor or whoever decides that they're in favor of it then?
No, it's in the courts.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but who's arguing
Who are the plaintiffs?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
The Attorney General would have to.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's Dana Nessel, and on our side, it's Miller Canfield. We have a constitutional lawyer that is working for you'll recall, the ISD superintendents filed this. So working on their behalf, and MASA, I know, had something to do with the connection to there, but it's Miller Canfield is the law firm that's representing the school side.
Raj, the MDE was also named, the guy from Miller Canfield said that the MDE was not filing a brief
No,
in either court.
no.
One way or the other weren't filing anything, they were just saying, y'all figure it out. So it sounds like it's mostly between the Attorney General of the state and the attorney for the ISD superintendents.
Yeah, Miller Canfield.
So
And I'm not sure, at the federal level, it's still Miller Canfield for us, same attorney, I don't know.
It'd probably still be the Attorney General.
Probably be the Attorney General, I'd imagine, but I don't know how all that's shaking out, so.
So-
Haven't heard a lot about that part.
So my question, I do have some questions here, Russ. So,
Okay.
so the state passed a law that it was tied into the funding, still a law. It's determined whether or not it's constitutional or unconstitutional. But what I don't understand is how this opt-in, if we opt in, how this allows us to opt out. So there was actually a court ruling that said this can be an option?
Yeah, there was an agreement between the two sides and the court system that this could happen. And legal firms were allowed to draw up resolutions based on what that determination was because the court is, ultimately the court got them
controls
together.
this.
Yeah, got them together and said, hey, we need to fix this. I mean, we need time for them in either that, or let's argue, you're going to argue the injunction here, and it's going to be an injunction or not an injunction. Why are you putting the school systems in that situation with this time crunch? So this was a way for everyone to work together to make sure this wasn't a problem before this case was even heard. So
Okay.
it gives them that
The
time.
December 4 date was the date that the MDE said was the last possible date
Right.
that they can accept opt-ins and then be able to negotiate and navigate the funding spread out for everybody by the 30th. So they had to have an opt-in date of the 4th. They knew they weren't going to hear arguments or hear the briefings or be able to get a decision until the 19th. And so they said, because you don't know what the result of the case is going to be, they agreed to the 30th deadline to rescind, because what we're agreeing to now is we believe that it's going to be unconstitutional. If it is constitutional, it changes what we're signing up for.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
So they agreed for the 30th to be the date where we could say we're out.
It's kind of our lemon law, right? So if we don't like it.
Money out in our state aid payment, then they're in violation of statute. So that's the other reason why the MDE was like, yeah, the latest we can give districts to opt in is the 4th, because we need to make sure that we pass that money out so that
And
they're not.
The recommendation is we opt in, or let's say it's unconstitutional, determined to be constitutional. A lot of the legal advice is to take the money, to not spend it, and let this all hash out. And if you haven't spent the money, they believe from a legal side of things, you can't lose. You opted into this resolution, But you can't, if you spent that money, then yeah, you made that agreement. But if you didn't spend that money, then they believe that there's a really good chance that you could give the money back.
So just accepting the money does not hold you to
No,
that? is what
and
they're
this
saying.
resolution
As long as
says
we don't
that too. It's very clear about that.
Is that doable as far as like budgeting? Like, that's not going to be something that's make or break our budget, right? So
It's not good.
It's
not good,
it-
but
I mean, it's.
it is not good, but.
I mean,
I think by
don't really
that
have any
time-
update from the last meeting,
Yeah.
but I'll show you, I can show you this
Yeah,
again, so you
show us
can
the
see.
budget.
I mean, it's about a $620,000 difference for us.
Yeah.
And is
So you-
that,
That's crazy.
is that just in like a general bucket? I mean, or is it,
Isn't that
it's very specific?
Security,
It's-
yes.
it's
So
specific.
when would be the first payment of that $600,000 that would then say, okay, now you've spent the money, now you're on the hook for it? Right? When is our first outlay of that cash?
Well, we
would have.
we
to
would
determine.
hold it.
Because
and-
that's really what you're saying is, if, as soon as we spend it, right, because if we have to spend it come February 1st for starting to pay for
Yeah.
things,
Yeah.
then we're kind of.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
you would want to spend it as far down the road as possible until all this shakes out, because I have a feeling if this doesn't go in our favor, there will be an appeal. And at both state and federal, and I think it's going to keep going. Now, hopefully, they would still play nice together and, give us some kind of resolution like this again. But I know from a legal standpoint, we've asked a lot of questions, and they said, yeah, you'd want to hold that money as long as you can until this shakes out.
And you could move
We're
things
already
around.
covering staff, it's just not with those funds, right?
Okay.
Like, so,
You just have to move things around and make it work.
Yep.
Okay.
We make it sound easy for you. Well, you just have to move it. We know this is stressful.
Just numbers, yeah, exactly.
So,
So-
okay, let's say it goes in our favor. Is there any discussion that you're hearing in Lansing that they're going to revise it to some way pigeonhole, the mass casualty event?
Well, the thing that we're hoping for, and from our council side, is they define what that is.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, that they define what that is, and that they don't take our constitutional right away of attorney-client privilege. I don't think anybody, as I mentioned before, is opposed to a parallel investigation for information to help learn from those types of situations. Heaven forbid they occur again. But at the same time, no one gives up their attorney-client privilege. That's unheard of.
Okay. And that's our stance.
Right.
And we can
Okay.
back up.
Yeah, I could not recommend
Yeah.
at this, based on what I know right now, I could not recommend we take that money, we check that box without this kind of thing. I would be telling you not to do it.
So if we're, if the lawsuit is not successful, right? And we have that deadline, stipulated deadline up to December 30th. Are you anticipating, is there any action you think you'll have to do at that point? Or or you're saying that the legal counsel is saying, hey, hold on to the money,
Yeah.
wait it out?
We'll have more information at that time.
Okay.
Because I am certain there will be appeals.
Yeah.
And I think legal counsel will tell us what to do at that time.
Okay.
And like I said, hopefully they all play nice together and would give us another resolution until the appeal's heard and all that, but I don't know. In the meantime, we would just try to hold that as long as we could and not spend it.
Would you anticipate, if it's not successful, right? Would you anticipate us having to have an emergency board meeting or anything before?
Potentially, but
Okay.
probably not.
Okay.
But potentially. I
Stay
can't
tuned.
say for
Stay
sure.
tuned, right? Yeah.
I
You
don't know how it's
gonna-
gonna
yeah.
shake
Roger, you
out.
said 6-7, is that what you
Yeah.
6-7,
Yeah.
6-7.
6 of one, half a dozen the other. I don't know. But
You
yeah,
didn't.
this has been wild, really wild. But
Every step is.
we'll keep you guys informed. I feel good about it, though I do. I think they're all this resolution alone tells me that there's been some movement and people going, okay, we got to figure this out for schools because this.
There was
this
something
isn't-
that was not thought through.
Yeah.
Well, it
And
was
the
so last minute for
implications
everybody.
across the state for districts to not take this money would be very significant.
Yes.
This isn't just a little pot. This is
Nope.
districts having to, reduce spending on security, but also on school-based mental health providers. And I don't think anybody wants to say they developed the policy that caused.
Yeah. Well, and if you
this.
think about it, if it actually were safety and security they eliminated and then something happened,
Right, yeah.
Exactly.
that would be,
Sheer
that would open up a whole
irony,
can of worms. So I don't know. We'll see, but I would recommend we opt into this this time. If it weren't there, I'd be recommending that we opt out.
Yeah.
Good.
I do think too, one thing, just as the way it's going with 31AA is over time, I mean, a lot of times these funds were not designed to be permanent. Sometimes they take that way, but I think it would be smart of us to start looking at 31AA funds and are there sustainable ways that we can fund some of these things just in anticipation over the next 5-10 years that those funds go away? Because I do worry that as we see sort of funding changes over time, that's a big pot of money.
That is a big pot.
Can we put it here?
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, no discussion? All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right, item number 5, discussion reports. Looking back, looking ahead.
Yeah, so just wanted to touch on a few things. Being our last board meeting of the year, hard to believe, the calendar year, of course, don't want to scare anybody. Just kind of looking back in this past semester, we're almost at that semester end. We had a very smooth beginning to the school year. Had a great homecoming event that I was not able to be at because of some medical things with my family, but every year when you talk to people about that event, they just smile about it and how incredible it is and what our people do, how it's developed, how people come together to just make it an amazing community event. There happens to be a football game, but it really is a true community event. So that was wonderful. Fall sports, band, and our other music programs, the arts, all celebrated huge successes this fall. Once again, and just it just amazes me every year. I think we get better and better as a whole, and I attribute that to obviously our kids, our parents, and our coaches, and our teachers, and everybody that's involved with that. So, including you guys. So we all have a role in that. Passing of a sinking fund restoration, an operational millage renewal, and a passing of the countywide enhancement mill took place. Those were all huge celebrations of success. They provide stability in those areas of what those things can fund for the long haul. The operational, you look at 5 years, and the other 2, you look at 10. That's money from a school planning component. You know that's going to be there, and that's just amazing, and just again a testament to our community, our amazing community. Weller Auto Tech Center's nearing completion. We're gonna have a ribbon cutting on that December 15th at 6 o'clock. Very excited about that. It's really I think back from the planning phases that all started from a lunch with Skip Weller, and it amazes me what it turned out to be. So it's just incredible. Looking ahead, our first students will begin class in the Weller Auto Tech Center in January. So looking forward to that. Senior Junior Survivor again is going to kick off, and I'm sure it's just going to be bigger than it was last year, which is just an incredible event. And having the the younger kids now involved is just so cool. I think that's a really neat touch. Plan for future construction needs will be reviewed. We passed that. Sinking fund, the enhancement mill, and so on. So we'll just continue to look at, the construction needs that we have around our district, things that we need to maintain and renovate and improve, and so on. We'll begin the first big picture look at next year's budget. We talked about that today already, and just got it on our calendar now. So while we don't know the details of what that budget will be, we're able to, use some of our past knowledge and Heather's expertise at getting that so close to being accurate. But we'll start talking a lot about the funding and our staffing and our programs and so on. So that begins actually here in the next week or two. So that'll be happening. Snow days and travel will be on the minds of many. It looks like it's going to be an interesting, winter ahead of us. For those out there listening, if you want to get it first, I tweeted out on X, so I guess it's called X now. So, that's the first place you can get it, and there may or may not be a video coming.
I was going to say, is there a part 2 coming?
There might be. I think we might have something in store. So, and parents, if parents are listening out there, it's a good time to check notifications, because you have to check off how you want to be communicated with. Sometimes people just check off everything, and so they get it all the different ways. And they're like, how come I keep getting this, this way and that way? It's because they checked off those boxes. So however they want to get it, it's a good time to check that as well. We're really looking forward to 2026. We'll be back to school on January 5th. We'll have our first board meeting on January 5th, which will also be the organizational meeting at 6:30, followed by the board meeting itself. So happy holidays to everyone, and thanks for your partnership. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. No public comments, so the next meeting of the Grandville Board of Education will be an organizational meeting on Monday, January 5th, as Roger mentioned, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. at the Grandville Administration Building. The organizational meeting will be followed by a Board of Education workshop meeting at 7 p.m. We are adjourned.